The bulldozer engine roared at dawn. Parked illegally across our family farm's only entrance. My father stood frozen. Coffee mug trembling. Staring at strangers surveying our inherited land. This property is scheduled for sale, announced Mr. Bennett, named realtor. He waved papers that looked official but reeked of forged signatures and stolen authority. My mother gasped, clutching the porch railing. Unable to process this sudden, violent intrusion. Bennett and his wife Carla ran a real estate office disguised as helpful neighbors. They had circled our farm for months, eyeing its value. Carla smiled coldly, clipboard in hand, marking boundaries that belonged entirely to us. Your father's estate paperwork was incomplete, she lied. Voice dripping with manufactured sympathy. I felt my chest tighten. Anger rising like floodwater breaking through a cracked dam. Our farm had survived droughts, recessions, loving sacrifice. Now two greedy neighbors wanted to erase everything with manipulated documents and false claims. Dad's hands shook as he dialed our family lawyer. Voice cracking with disbelief. They can't just take it, he whispered, though his eyes betrayed creeping doubt. Bennett laughed. Transfer paperwork sitting on his desk. I stepped forward, demanding to see any actual deed proving their outrageous claim. Carla's smile faltered slightly, revealing cracks beneath her polished, predatory real estate persona. Neighbors gathered slowly, drawn by shouting voices and the bulldozer's relentless mechanical growl. Old Mr. A Vietnam veteran, limped over leaning heavily on his wooden cane. I've seen bullies before, he muttered, glaring directly into Bennett's nervous, shifting eyes. My sister Mia clutched my arm, whispering that this felt like a nightmare unfolding. The morning sun blazed hot, sweat mixing with fear running down everyone's flushed faces. Bennett produced another folder, insisting county records already listed our farm as foreclosed. Show me the court order, I demanded. Voice steady despite my pounding, terrified heartbeat. He hesitated, clearly improvising lies faster than he could organize them. Carla snapped photos of our barn, treating it like property already legally hers. My mother's knees buckled slightly, supported instantly by Mr. Alvarez's steady, protective arm. This is harassment, I shouted. And we will fight you in federal court. Bennett sneered. Officials would side with established, wealthy realtors. He didn't know our family had fought injustice before and never backed down easily. I pulled out my phone, recording everything, documenting their threats and fraudulent intimidation tactics. You'll regret challenging us, Carla hissed, eyes narrowing with calculated, venomous warning. I held my ground, refusing to let fear silence generations of inherited family pride. Mr. Reminding me veterans never surrender without exhausting every option. The bulldozer driver, sensing tension, killed the engine and stepped back, uncertain. Bennett's confidence cracked further, realizing witnesses now surrounded his crumbling, desperate fraudulent scheme. I knew this moment demanded more than anger, it required strategic, relentless legal action. That night, every photo, older. My father finally spoke. Voice firm again, declaring we would never surrender our farm. Tomorrow. Investigators. Anyone willing to expose their dangerous, illegal scheme. The farm's old oak tree creaked softly. Witness to generations of struggle and resilience. Sleep evaded me that night, replaced by relentless planning and burning. Righteous determination. I researched real estate fraud cases, discovering patterns matching Bennett and Carla's predatory tactics. They had targeted 3 other families, each pressured into selling under suspicious, urgent circumstances. My hands trembled typing emails to attorneys specializing in property fraud and civil rights. Morning arrived with golden light spilling across fields Bennett desperately wanted to steal away. Mr. Bringing his nephew, a sharp young attorney named David Reyes. David examined our documents carefully, eyes widening at obvious forgery and procedural irregularities. This isn't just fraud, he said. This looks like coordinated criminal real estate racketeering. My mother served coffee. Hands steadier now, fueled by hope mixed with lingering fear. David explained federal statutes protecting property owners from fraudulent foreclosure and predatory realtor practices. We can file in federal court, he announced, exposing their entire fraudulent operation publicly. Relief washed over me, though anxiety lingered about facing powerful, well-connected local opponents. Bennett and Carla held influence within county offices. Friendships built through years of bribery. Word spread quickly through our small town. Neighbors whispering about the unfolding farm scandal. Some avoided eye contact, fearing retaliation from Bennett's extensive real estate business connections. Others began sharing their own stories of intimidation and manipulated property documents. A young immigrant family, Penguins, terrified but willing to testify. They had nearly lost their bakery to identical forged foreclosure tactics months earlier. Their courage ignited something powerful within me, transforming personal anger into collective community resolve. David compiled testimonies, financial records, and forensic document analysis proving systematic criminal fraud patterns. Bennett tried bribing my father with an absurdly low cash settlement offer. Walk away quietly, he suggested, and avoid expensive, exhausting. My father refused immediately. Eyes blazing with inherited stubbornness passed through generations of farmers. Carla attempted intimidation through anonymous threatening calls, warning us about dangerous, unpredictable legal consequences. I recorded every call, adding crucial evidence supporting our growing federal lawsuit against them. Mr. Meetings. Rallying support against Bennett's manipulative, fear-based business tactics. Local newspapers picked up the story, publishing articles questioning suspicious real estate licensing practices. Bennett's professional reputation began crumbling publicly, exposing years of hidden, predatory financial schemes. Carla's polished smile vanished from advertisements. replaced by community outrage and growing public scrutiny. Despite mounting pressure, they refused retreating, doubling down through expensive, aggressive defense attorneys. Court dates approached rapidly, transforming our quiet farmhouse into a strategic legal command center. David prepared meticulously, organizing evidence proving deliberate fraud, forgery, violations. My sister Mia practiced testimony. Voice steady despite nervous hands clutching crumpled notebook pages. The Nguyen family joined preparation sessions, strengthening our case through shared, painful, night after night. Zero for justice and resistance. Bennett's lawyers attempted dismissing our case, claiming insufficient evidence and exaggerated, emotional family testimony. Judge Martinez, however, and scheduled a full federal evidentiary hearing immediately. Tension thickened across town, dividing neighbors between supporting justice or protecting established realtor influence. I stood firm, wanted honesty against years of unchecked corruption. The hearing date finally arrived, promising confrontation that would determine everything we'd fought for. Federal courthouse steps gleamed under harsh sunlight as reporters gathered, anticipating dramatic public revelations. My family walked inside together, hearts pounding with nervous hope and determined, unwavering resolve. David presented evidence methodically, exposing forged signatures, manipulated deeds, and predatory licensing violations clearly. The Nguyen family testified bravely, describing identical intimidation tactics used against their small bakery. Mr. A community trust shattered through Bennett and Carla's calculated deception. Bennett's attorney objected repeatedly, but Judge Martinez allowed devastating testimony exposing systematic criminal fraud. Carla's composed mask finally cracked, voice trembling under intense, relentless cross-examination questioning. Forensic document experts confirmed signatures were digitally manipulated, proving deliberate, premeditated criminal forgery. Bennett's real estate license records revealed previous violations conveniently hidden through bureaucratic, corrupt connections. The courtroom gasped collectively as evidence painted a clear picture of organized property fraud. My father testified last, voice steady, sacrifice protecting our family farm. They tried stealing everything we built, he said. But justice finally caught their greed. Judge Martinez reviewed everything carefully, expression hardening as fraudulent patterns became undeniably, overwhelmingly clear. After deliberation, she announced her ruling, silencing the entire courtroom with anticipation immediately. This court finds clear evidence of coordinated real estate fraud and predatory licensing abuse. Gasps erupted as she ordered immediate revocation of both Bennett and Carla's realtor licenses. Additional federal charges followed, including wire fraud, document forgery, and racketeering conspiracy charges. Bennett's face drained of color, realizing his empire crumbled within mere devastating courtroom minutes. Carla broke down crying, finally facing consequences for years of calculated, predatory manipulation. Outside, capturing the moment justice triumphed over corruption and greed. Neighbors who once stayed silent now cheered, finally free from years of hidden intimidation. The Nguyen family hugged us tightly. Grateful courage finally exposed their tormentor's criminal operation. Mr. Reminding everyone perseverance always outlasts cowardice and unchecked corrupt power. Bennett and Carla faced additional civil lawsuits from previous victims emboldened by our victory. Their real estate office closed permanently, replaced by foreclosure signs ironically matching their crimes. Carla's once pristine reputation collapsed entirely, her name forever linked with fraud and disgrace. Bennett struggled finding employment, haunted by his own greedy downfall. Meanwhile, sunlight returning warmly across fields once threatened with destruction. My father planted new trees, symbolizing renewal after surviving betrayal and relentless corporate greed. Mia laughed freely again. Innocence restored after witnessing justice prevail against powerful local bullies. The Nguyen family reopened their bakery, customers returning enthusiastically once truth became public knowledge. Mr. Sharing coffee and stories celebrating community resilience against systemic injustice. I realized our fight wasn't just about land, but about protecting truth and dignity. Standing beneath our ancient oak tree, I finally exhaled years of accumulated fear completely. Justice doesn't always arrive quickly, but persistence eventually exposes even the most hidden corruption. Our farm became a symbol, inspiring others to challenge abusive power with courage and unity. Every neighbor who once stayed silent learned speaking truth ultimately outweighs comfortable, convenient cowardice. Bennett and Carla's downfall proved corruption inevitably crumbles when communities unite against shared injustice. Our family's victory reminded everyone that farms, like families, survive through resilience and truth. As sunset painted golden light across restored fields, I finally felt complete, lasting peace. We had lost nothing permanent, gaining instead unshakable strength. Justice,